Step back in time with me to a land nestled between two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. This is Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers, a name given by the ancient Greeks. But to the world, it holds a much grander title, the cradle of civilization. This isn't just a story of ancient kings and forgotten cities, it's the story of us. Because right here, in the fertile plains of modern-day Iraq, the very foundations of our world were laid. What makes a civilization? Is it cities, laws, writing? The Mesopotamians didn't just tick the boxes, they invented the checklist. For thousands of years, this region was a vibrant, chaotic, and brilliant crucible of innovation. It's where humanity first graduated from scattered settlements to sprawling urban centers. Cities like Uruk, Ur, and the legendary Babylon rose from the dust, their ziggurats reaching for the heavens. These weren't just collections of mud brick houses. They were complex societies with governments, specialized jobs, and social hierarchies. Think about that for a moment. The very concept of a city, a place where thousands of strangers live and work together, was born here. This new urban lifestyle created new problems. How do you manage resources? How do you record trade? How do you remember who owes what? The Mesopotamians, specifically the Sumerians in the south, devised a brilliant solution around 3500 BC. They started making impressions on wet clay tablets. This system, which we call cuneiform, began as simple pictures, but evolved into a sophisticated script of wedge-shaped marks. With cuneiform, history itself begins. For the first time, humans could record their thoughts, their laws, their stories, and their secrets for posterity. We have found hundreds of thousands of these tablets, giving us an unprecedented window into their daily lives, from a baker's grocery list to epic poems of gods and heroes. This single invention, the act of writing, changed the human story forever. With cities and writing came the need for order. Enter Hammurabi, the king of Babylon. Around 1754 BC, he created one of the world's first and most complete written legal codes. Inscribed on a massive stone stele, the Code of Hammurabi laid out 282 laws covering everything from commerce and family matters to crime and punishment. It's famous for the principle of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. While it seems harsh to us now, it represented a monumental step forward. It meant that justice was no longer arbitrary, subject to the whims of a ruler. It was codified, public, and in theory applied to all, although punishments often varied by social class. This idea that society should be governed by written laws is a cornerstone of modern jurisprudence. But the Mesopotamians didn't just look down at their clay tablets. They looked up at the stars. They were meticulous astronomers and brilliant mathematicians. They developed a number system based on 60, which is why we still have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. It's why a circle has 360 degrees. They mapped the constellations, tracked the movements of the planets, and could even predict eclipses. This wasn't just for religious divination, it was practical. Their celestial calendar helped them determine the best times for planting and harvesting, a crucial skill in a land dependent on the rhythm of its rivers. They laid the groundwork for the astronomy and mathematics that would be built upon by the Greeks, the Arabs, and every civilization that followed. And what would civilization be without great stories? Mesopotamia gave us one of the world's first works of literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh. This is more than just an adventure story about a legendary king's quest for immortality. It's a profound meditation on life, death, friendship, and what it means to be human. It contains a flood story that predates the biblical account of Noah by 1,000 years, highlighting the deep cultural currents that flowed through the ancient Near East. The questions Gilgamesh wrestled with, the fear of oblivion and the search for meaning, are the same questions we ask ourselves today. Of course, the story of Mesopotamia is also one of conflict and conquest. The Sumerians gave way to the Akkadians, who built the world's first empire under Sargon the Great. They were followed by the Babylonians, then the formidable and fearsome Assyrians, known for their military might and magnificent palaces guarded by Lamassu, the iconic human-headed winged bulls. Finally, the Neo-Babylonians, under Nebuchadnezzar II, built the breathtaking Hanging Gardens, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Each empire built upon the last, absorbing and expanding upon Mesopotamian culture, creating a legacy that was as resilient as it was revolutionary. Ultimately, the great Mesopotamian empires fell. The Persians, followed by Alexander the Great, conquered the region, and the old ways began to fade. The great cities crumbled, cuneiform was forgotten, and the land between the rivers fell silent for centuries, its history buried beneath the sand. But what they created never truly died. Their inventions, the wheel, the sail, writing, law, the 60-second minute, are so deeply embedded in our daily lives that we take them for granted. They are the invisible architecture of our modern world. So the next time you check the time, write a sentence, or even look up at the night sky, remember the people of Mesopotamia. They were the original pioneers, the dreamers and builders who took the first giant leaps for humankind, transforming a muddy river valley into the cradle of us all. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. See you next time.